all that matters is the communication works, and it's efficient for that team.
Right.
But what we teach, just so everybody's on the same page in school, is either the shooter or the spotter can kind of initiate it.
Okay.
And the spotter, if he's just letting the shooter know, hey, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
He says on glass.
Okay.
And that lets him know, hey, I'm on the spotting scope.
Right.
Just let me know when you're ready.
Yeah.
The shooter says on target.
Okay.
And the on target means that, hey, I'm on target. I'm ready to shoot.
Yeah.
I just want that final confirmation from you
Sure.
that nothing's changed.
Sure.
Or if we haven't talked about wind yet, give me a wind call.
Okay.
And then the shooter or the observer responds with hold. And what hold means where you're going to put your crosshairs.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's going to be center. Sometimes it's going to be 1 minute left. Sometimes it's going to be 1 minute right. And we always tell people to hold, even if it's center, say hold center.
Yeah.
Because then the shooter knows, hey, I've looked at the wind and I've thought about it and I want you to hold center.
Sure.
You don't leave that question in the shooter's mind. Did he even look at the wind?
Right.
Yeah. And then the final is then, hold left 1 minute, send it. Send is just kind of a gunworks terminology that we've kind of adopted and it came out of the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
And you could use whatever you wanted, but he's very clearly letting them know, hey, you're cleared to fire.
Yeah.
Hey, fire when ready.
Right.
That's basically what it means. And now if the shooter's taking too long and the wind starts to change and something's changing, as a spotter, I'll say hold. And that basically means, hey, I'm about to give you a different wind call.
Yeah. Right.
So now the shooter backs off the trigger and waits for that updated wind call. All right, you know what? Let's hold center now. Send it.
Right.
And that's basically what happened on Brian's shot as well. It was like, hey, we're going to hold 1 minute left. Okay, he's on. We're ready to rock. Exactly. He's about to shoot. And then it was hold for the wind. Wait for the wind.
Now, are you guys doing any kind of back and forth before that to initiate that sequence, or is it pretty much you're kind of both in tune? You're getting set up. Obviously, if you don't already have a tripod and a spotter on target or getting on target, the guy with the gun's probably getting down, setting up a shooting position, some things like that. That just kind of happens, or do you have a set process of communication for that as well?
I'd say it just kind of happens.
Okay.
I mean, because if once the spotter gets set up, and what Ian's really good at is once the spotter's set up, Ian's really good at hitting you with those little reminders.
Sure.
Hey, watch your cant.
Yeah.
Hey, check your bubble level.
Right.
Hey, all right, go ahead and send it. Make sure you pin that trigger to the rear.
Yeah.
Just that very calm. Most of us that are experienced shooters, we're going to remember the big stuff, but it's easy to remember some of those forget some of those little fine details. So having a spotter that, and especially if it's a spotter that knows you and knows the kind of stuff you're likely to forget.
Yeah.
That reminds you on what he knows your weak point is.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
And so, there's a lot of dialogue that goes back and forth, and and it brings up an interesting point. It's like, Ian had a choice when that wind picked up. He could have told me hold 2 minutes left because of the increased wind. But when you got something that's not moving, it's just laying there. Why? Let's just wait for the wind out. Let's just wait out the wind.
Sure.
And go back to our original plan.
Yeah.
Other situations, if it was a more fleeting opportunity, he probably would have just given me, hey, hold 2 minutes left. The wind picked up.
Sure.
So that's just kind of situational based.
And it was a pretty base wind, and then all of a sudden a gust came up, so I figured it would die again. So yeah. But that, to me, like you said, I love being the spotter. I think it's just as fun for me, or sometimes more fun, to get someone on target as the spotter. So I kind of take pride in that. And then if it's a missed shot, then I really beat myself up for it too.
Yeah.
But yeah, as soon as it's, I'm on glass, I'm on target, hold center, send it. I've given them the reins. They have the reins the whole time. They can shoot whenever the heck they want. But if you're trying to do it correctly and be, on point as a good team, you've given them the reins now, and then you hit them with those reminders, because you'll see it in class. Like, there'll be a guy who's just mashing the trigger. So once you've given the reins, then nice slow press, pin the trigger to the rear,
Right.
And and we've talked about it before, but good to hit it again. I think it's kind of 4 things I always say. Once I'm like, hold center, send it, whatever the hold is, then it's the reins are theirs, and then I say, focus on the reticle, let all your air out, slow press, pin the trigger to the rear.
Yeah. And these are just fundamentals, right? But it's good kind of in the middle of it to you get caught up in things to remind. I keep drawing climbing parallels, but I mean, I've literally, it's funny. You get so focused on trying to hang on to little pieces of rock that I've had belayers who are like, hey, breathe. Because like, you know, you're so focused, you don't realize it. You start holding your breath, you know, trying to focus on making the next move and whatever else. And it's amazing how that can help. Like it was a problem that I worked through, and I had a belayer buddy, you know, working on some projects way back in the day, that's like, that was an absolute game changer to have him all of a sudden yell at you like, hey dude, you need to breathe. Take a breath,
blue up
right?
there.
Yeah, right. You quit holding your breath and breathe and get this thing done. So yeah,
And I think
things like that are absolutely important. And knowing who you're shooting with, and like you said, knowing their strengths and weaknesses, that's a big deal for sure.
And don't just assume that the most experienced guy is going to remember something or whatever too, because I've said it before, but you know, as soon as a target presents itself, you start getting tunnel vision. You know, you get excited and stuff. So
I didn't even notice that one.
yeah.
I was probably a second or two
tunnel
from
vision,
pressing that shot off.
Yeah.
If you like what you're hearing here, please take a second and give us a 5-star rating and a positive review on iTunes or on your favorite podcast app. We appreciate your feedback and suggestions for topics you'd like discussed or questions you want answered on the podcast. You can reach out on Facebook or Instagram or send us an email to podcast@gunworks.com. Also, be sure and check out our full offering of long-range gear at gunworks.com. Use promo code LRP for free shipping on any order.